Women play a vital role in science, and their participation, especially here in Nigeria, is being encouraged as International Day of Women and Girls in Science is commemorated globally. The focus here in Nigeria will be mentorship and grooming more young females in Nigeria to take up the stage and make a significant landmark. Here in Nigeria, outstanding women in science includes Dr. Eukaria Mwachi, one of the nation's shining lights. Rabia Salihu Said is another woman in science, a professor of atmospheric and space weather physics. Also, Deborah Ajakai is the first Nigerian female physics that is professor among many other women scientists. Saturday Discourse, we shall be taking a look at women in science and, of course, their contributions and the way forward. That will be after the news of the day. My name is Tessie Omeri. We thank you for joining us. Moving on, women have been urged to reflect properly on the right candidate before casting their ballot on election day. This was at a town hall meeting and sensitization program in Abuja, where the facilitator, Mabel Adenia Adi, tasked women on benefits of participating in politics. Deborah Gazajimaika reports.
The 2023 general elections mean a lot, and the percentage of women participation in the electoral process is key in deciding the fate of Nigeria. Therefore, Women Wing of Christian Association of Nigeria is collaborating with the United Nations Women and Canadian governments to mobilize women to make a good choice by coming out to exercise their civic responsibility on election day. The mobilization advocacy is in 6 states, including the FCT. National President Wowikan Victoria Bola says they are engaging women, including market women in the 6 states, as they are mandated to sensitize more than 4,000 women.
We've told them that their cars, the PVC, they should not allow people to buy their PVCs, because we learned that people are going around mopping PVC, buying it from people, and it's not good because they will not allow them. If they collect your PVC, you can't vote on that day because you need your PVC to vote. That's why we are sensitizing them that don't sell your PVC. Don't collect 2,000 because of what you are going to eat today, and tomorrow your children will be suffering.
We have seen a lot of many of our children out of school for many years or many months, and the situation is getting really worse. We cannot repeat the same mistake by just casting our vote without reflecting on who really we are voting for.
FCT INEC Desk Officer Martina Princewill assured the meeting that all has been done humanly by INEC to ensure free and fair election in Nigeria.
INEC is putting in your vote will definitely count. With the new innovations, we have the beavers, where the beavers is used for accreditation and authentication. Your votes will count on that day.
In the FCT, the women are working with the Abuja Municipal Area Council and Gogolada Area Council. Deborah Gazaji Maika, NTA News.
Still talking preparation for the 2023 general elections. Ahead of the general elections, a one-day sensitization seminar aimed at equipping Christian youths with requisite knowledge on their role as Christians in the coming election has been held. Charity Zaka reports that the seminar was organized by the Youth Wing of Organization of Africa Institute Church, North Central Zone. The report.
The seminar tagged the role of youth in times like this seeks to sensitize the Christian youth with the right attitude to partake in the coming general elections, as they are told the church has great expectations of them. Hence, they should shun all tendencies that will bring shame to the church.
Respective roles that we are supposed to perform in becoming Nigerians and in contributing to our national development and in being relevant in a time as this. So everyone has a role to play.
The participating youth pledged to uphold the honor of the church during the forthcoming general elections.
I'm assuring the church that I personally am going to stand on what we were being taught in order for us to move forward as a youth and for our better tomorrow.
I have to represent the church, and it is my time to tell them that we should vote wisely, and we should vote a competent person that will take us to the promised land.
Resource persons as well as Ken stress that it is necessary that the Christian youth are reminded of who they are and what they must represent during the elections.
We need to first of all ask ourselves, what kind of people should these youths be? We need to be people of understanding, who have understanding of the time, and then we know what to do accordingly. And then finally we shared with them that the role of the youth is very clear. It's a time to cry unto God. It's a time to also unite and be peaceful and also be uncompromising.
As Christian youths, they don't need to be bought over to go and assassinate an opponent. As Christian youths, they don't need to be involved in thuggery. As Christian youths, they don't need to be involved in manipulating figures and other things. As Christian youths, they don't need to involve themselves in anything dirty job in that election. They need to pick up their PVCs and go and vote the right candidate.
What forms our decision to have this? To sensitize ourselves. Look, you should look for peace. Don't be used, no matter what it is. Money shouldn't make you to destroy a country where you should live. You know, we have no other country than Nigeria.
At the seminar, intercessions were met for the coming elections and the country. Charity Zadka, NTA News.
Looking at how to enhance and strengthen capacity of civil societies in the West African sub-region was the thrust of a training held in Abuja. Aisha Uba Ali reports that the West African Civil Society Forum organized the one-day meeting for civil societies in the country.
They are from different civil society groups, but with the same vision of contributing positively to the growth and development of Nigeria. The West Africa Civil Society Forum is the platform bringing these groups together. While they have a breakfast meeting, they are also looking at breaking the limitations that have hindered civil societies from creating the desired impact.
And that some money have been disbursed so that they can monitor elections in some key areas of the state. Therefore, I know that Workshop is prepared for that.
Okay, so I don't think even if we are like 1 million civil society organization, that would be enough for Nigeria. The population is over 200 million people, and every day needs arise.
In as much as the group is complementing government efforts in countries, how they are addressing their own challenges is another issue on its own.
Government needs to create a very good framework, for the civil society. As we have today, we have some civil society that are political, which is not supposed to be.
Accessing funds and grants for civil societies to function optimally also formed part of this capacity training for the participants. However, using the funds judiciously was crossed of the meeting.
So I am calling on my fellow NGOs, CSOs, that they should please, when they get these grants, they should try and do what? And utilize it.
WACSOF has members from 15 member states of West Africa. In Abuja, Aisha Uba Ali, NTA News.
The Federal Capital Territory remains one of the most attractive destinations for economic migrants, not only from within Nigeria but also other African countries. The trend has left a telling overstretch on public facilities and infrastructure, the most affected being public schools, with GSS Kuje telling the story. One of such schools is the GSS Kuje, where overcrowding in classrooms have become a serious concern, telling on teaching and learning. Hadiza Godin Ebune has more.
Situated just 30 minutes drive from the Abuja city center, Kuje Area Council is one of the attractive satellite towns for Abuja's Legion of Workers. Its population has grown over time, and the effect is telling on its only co-education secondary school, which is now struggling with a ballooning student population.
We want an adequate space for learning environments, like the walls and everything, more classes, more chairs, that can help us, that can make us comfortable.
As a student, you need comfort, and sitting in the classroom comfortably will make you to listen more. Even our principal, he used to by himself walk down to the classes to check if there is teachers in the class.
Aside being overcrowded, the school also run an inclusive education, combining teaching of regular students and those with special needs. The student category is differentiated by the color of their uniforms, with the blue and white for the regular students and the maroon and white for the students with special needs. This special hybrid has been running for years. For each subject, the special needs students have their interpreters.
The amount of satisfaction derived by a consumer in consuming what? A particular commodity. When I say utility, what should come to your mind is what? Satisfaction.
The overcrowding is, however, proving a tough challenge to the school, but the FCT administration has attributed the situation to the inflow of people into the capital city.
Under the present system, where we intend to renovate about 100 schools in 100 days, under one system where we intend to construct new schools in order to congest this, we'll take care of it. But that is what happens with every new system you bring in. It is not that we were not prepared for this, but because of the influx, the continuous migration into Abuja for greener pasture, for better facilities, and the rest of it, that is what is responsible for overcrowded classrooms.
We need more classrooms because most of the classes, especially this time when we are doing registration, sometimes they are overpopulated. But we try as much as possible, especially the COVID-19 that came and taught us one thing or the other. We have learned how to decongest, but the decongestion sometimes creates some problem, especially the little manpower that we have. The more the classes, the more the manpower.
Whether for the regular or the special need, the immediate need of the school is an urgent intervention to end the pressure on the infrastructure and the potential drift in learning. Hadiza Godwin Ebuni, NTA News.
And with Guarantee Trust Bank at Maraba, Nasarawa being shut down due to a fire outbreak that destroyed some of its gadgets, residents around the vicinity of the bank are finding it difficult to access cash. Guse Peve has more.
This is one of Nigeria's commercial banks which caught fire slightly above 24 hours ago. At a period where accessing cash is like sourcing for precious goods and overstretching other banks in the area. Although the cause of the fire is yet to be ascertained, except for narratives by traders with shops beside the bank.
They don't have men on ground. You understand? They don't even know when this fire started. They don't know when the fire is. When people
is locked down, access bank.
Out information as well. However, NTA News was able to get a voice record of one of them.
Saba know the work now. Saba burned down now. For now, there's no light. There's all the light connected, everything burned down. I don't think this I don't think this bank will work.
People around the vicinity of GT Bank Maraba voice how challenges they have been facing in search of cash since the closest bank to them has been shut down to customers.
I come to get money where I go take job. I dey hungry. I know even see one naira. I see the bank they close. So I go do. Now to carry my wahala go back house.
We find it very difficult because POSF don't have money, so we don't even know what to do.
Considering the weather condition at the time, Nigerians are to take precautionary measures in curtailing fire outbreaks. From Maraba, Kari local government area of Nasarawa State, Guse PV, NTA News.
The pain of war knows no tribe or religion. War engulfs everyone, rich or poor. Homes are destroyed, emptied by the darkness of war. During war, everybody loses, nobody wins. The innocent pays the price of our ego with their blood. They are badly affected by a decision they didn't make. Dialogue is the only way out. We are stronger together. We should never separate. We are one Nigeria. Our oneness, our strength, our beauty.
Our new toothpaste, Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection.
Why are we changing our toothpaste?
Because with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, I can be sure your teeth are cavity-free.
When you brush daily with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, its expert formula locks natural calcium in our teeth and helps protect them from cavity. Colgate is the world's most chosen toothpaste.
Colgate locks calcium in...
Keeps cavities Colgate is now available in 300 Naira and 500 Naira packs.
Many thanks for staying tuned. International Day of Women and Girls in Science began as a resolution by the United Nations in 2015. The mission was to address the gender gap and, of course, celebrate contributions and achievements of women in science. Hadiza Godwin-Ebuni in this report takes a look at innovative ideas of women and girls in science in Nigeria.
The COVID-19 crisis has demonstrated the critical role of women and girls in science as some female science students joined in the fight against the pandemic, from understanding the virus and controlling its spread to constructing a robot that assists front health workers not to come in contact with infected patients.
So do you have any complaint?
Body pain, that's all.
Okay. Please, can you bend down a little? Let me take your temperature.
Well, this is a time where we should tell the girl child that whatever she puts her mind to, she can actually achieve. And I would, most girls or females that I come in contact with, I tell them to take up the challenging roles actually, to show that the saying, what a man can do, a woman can do better. It's actually true in most cases.
The students say tackling some of the greatest challenges of the agenda for sustainable development, from improving health to combating climate change, will rely on harnessing all talents and thinking out of the box.
If you look at the situation going on, the coronavirus happening right now, multiple people die every day. And I feel like no one has come up with a solution. And women right now, most women are sitting idle in their house, housewives, they're not doing anything. So I feel like if women go into science, maybe there's a possibility that maybe we can come up with a solution.
I would like to change the world and make it a better place by making more advanced technology equipment and corruption, the level of corruption to be lessened.
The United Nations General Assembly says the day is a reminder that women and girls play a critical role in science and technology communities, and their participation should be strengthened. Hadiza Godwin-Ebuni, NTA News.
Many thanks, Hadiza, for that background report. And that ushers in our guest tonight on Saturday Discourse, as we shall be dwelling on women in science to commemorate this very special day. And I have with me in the studio Kemisola Bolariwa, an inventor. Thank you for joining us on Saturday Discourse.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. When I saw inventors, like, wow, a female, you know. Well, when they always say what a man can do, a woman can do even
you can
better.
see that.
So now tell us, today is International Day for Women and Girls in Science. How important is today?
Well, I think today is very important. It's worth celebrating actually, for women, for girl child, to encourage them. That's just the aim, to encourage young girl child, young women to choose a career in the path of science or STEM generally. So it's very important because we need inclusion of girls. We need inclusion of women in that aspect, in that field of work.
Okay, now, girls are confronted with challenges of education generally. And when it comes to science, it's a peculiar problem altogether. Some average parents will be like, can she cope with this science, can she, go on with this? And in such cases, you see that so many girls that are supposed to be encouraged are not even, at the end of the day, they don't study science and all that. What's your take on this?
Well, that have to do with the parent and the teacher as well. Most of the courses that is offering in science at the elementary, well, I said the junior secondary, let's come to secondary level now. The major thing after our research, the major subject they found difficult is mathematics. And out of, during the research, we now realized that the teacher taking those courses or taking the subject are not really helping. They are not really encouraging
so
that
now
girl.
It boils down to the teaching method, kind of.
Yeah, kind of, no. And taking how the girl out of the teaching real, like, They don't know it. When they're asking questions, the questions go to the girl, or to the boys in the class. So this is affecting as well as parents, encouraging them to pursue that, to encourage them. Oh, since the boy in your class can do this, you as a girl, you can do it. So those are the lapses.
Okay. So talking about discrimination,
yes, stereotyping,
is also affecting
yes,
women's participation in
yes,
science subjects. So what can we do to break that chain?
It's so clear. The first thing is to encourage them. You as a teacher, passing down knowledge to them, you should carry them along, carry both sides along, carry them, let them know that there's no magic there. It's something they can compare with. And, watch out, look for a role model for them, for people you can talk to them to look up to. With that, we head ways.
Yes, talking about role models, we have a lot of them. In the intro, I mentioned a couple of names that made so much impact in the world of science, talking about women's participation in science and all that. How important is the study of science in Nigeria? I know, just for the sake of emphasis, the profession is lucrative. How important is it for women to go into that?
Wow. Science is very, very lucrative now. It's now broad. Like I said, we now have STEM, an acronym of science, technology, engineering, mathematics. It's lucrative now. We are the first 21st industrial revolution, the 21st century, where technology, science, engineering is taking over the place. So it's a lucrative field where women, inclusion of women, will be very, very good.
Okay, finally, as an inventor, tell us how acceptable are products created in Nigeria?
Basically, I do hardware, and hardware is not really encouraging in Nigeria because of the materials we're getting. So, it's difficult to get materials. So we're still looking at how this can be easy for us to start our production right here in Nigeria. So it's not really going easy for us, getting the production done in Nigeria.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kemisola Abolarinwa,
Thank
an
you for
inventor,
having me.
for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you.
And for encouraging the women folk to know that science is doable.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And that's it on the discussion segment. Moving on, more than 61 newly promoted officers of the Federal Road Safety Corps, FCT, have been decorated with new ranks. Hawa Gimba reports that the event was held in the presence of family, friends, and other sister agencies.
Dedication to work surely earns more rewards. This was what resonated in the decoration ceremony for the newly promoted officers. The commandants are being conferred with the ranks for their contributions to the development of the Corps on safety on the highway. Deputy Corps Marshal Wobingora urged the newly promoted officers to be dedicated and alert, as well as project the image of the organization at all times.
Promotion, when it comes, the joy that is in that person is different. They've been promoted. We are expecting more from them, and they must be ready to do more.
To whom much is given, much is expected. That they should be more dedicated and committed.
To remain loyal, because loyalty is the key word as far as military or paramilitary installations are concerned. And then they should understand that they say a result of hard work is what? More work.
Promotion is a thing of increase, promotion is a thing of change.
FCT Federal Road Safety Corps Sector Commander Samuel Ogauchi urged the officers to redouble efforts and put in more sacrifice to uplift the Corps to attain its mandates.
It has not been an easy experience for quite a number of them, but we are happy with the Corps Marshal's magnanimity at this time and the management to ensure that every one of them enjoy this promotion at this time.
For some of the newly promoted officers,
I can only say thank you to God.
I feel overwhelmed. I feel elated.
Described as the first of its kind, officers commended the Corps Marshal for deeming it fit to promote more than 61 officers who, they say, have given in the best to ensure safety on the roads at all times. Hawa Gimba, NTA News.
next is sports updates.
Nigeria's under-20 boys Flying Eagles have now settled down in Morocco's commercial and economic capital, Casablanca, for a one-week final training camp ahead of the Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations starting next week Saturday in the Arab Republic of Egypt. The head strategist Ladan Boso is upbeat about the readiness of his boys to sustain their winning mentality when the tournament kicks off in 9 days. However, he said they are not going to underrate any of their opponents. In the same vein, the head coach of the junior pharaoh of Egypt, Mahmoud Gabar, has listed a 26-man strong squad for the competition. Egypt will take on Mozambique in the opening game of the competition on February 19th before facing Nigeria and Senegal later in the group matches. Also, Ibrahim Musa Gusau, president of the Nigerian Football Federation, was present as Paris played host to an unprecedented workshop on football development in Africa. Gusau was among representatives from Africa member associations gathered in the French capital for a workshop on football development blustered by FIFA president Gianni Infantino. And in the Premier League today, West Ham played a well-contested match with Chelsea where the game ended in a draw. Both teams scored a goal in the first half. With Sports Brief, Wayne Dogo, NTA News.
And that's it on Saturday Discourse. We thank you for sharing your time with us. See you next week for another package. Bye for now.